fuel, give me fire, give me double shot of time.
The Gear Jammer Super Fluffy Truck Series came to the Texas Motor Speedway for their 16th race of the 2017 season, and compared to Dover, this had a lot of action throughout. Chris Stump was on the pole with Frank DiMaggio second, Brett Boncari in fourth, James Walker in third, Jason Garrett your top five. But DiMaggio would actually get the advantage in the exit turn 2 and lead very early on. But then lap 3, Brett Boncari blasted by DiMaggio to take over the race lead in turns 1 and 2. But behind him, a huge crash happened out of turn 2 as James Williams gets spun by Jason Garrett, who then gets turned into the outside wall very hard. Richard Schwinn collects a piece of this. Also, Brian Ray, Andy Moore, Hunter Truell, among others involved in this huge pileup off at turn 2. Took out almost 6-7 trucks. Later on in segment number 1, Brett Boncari's tires will start to go away on him as par for the course, and Frank DiMaggio would go by to take over the race lead. On lap number 26, he would eventually win the first segment. As segment number 2 got on the way, Chris Scala had the lead, and then here came DiMaggio on the inside exit turn 3 and 4. He would take the lead away, line number 48 in the middle of this 5-car freight train. But then Scala comes right back at him and bumps him on the front straightaway, and he would go in the turn 1 and stay to the inside of DiMaggio. And in fact, would actually get a good run. The exit to number 2, Jason Garrett is also in the mix as well. Eventually, Scala would get by a couple laps later, and DiMaggio, stuck on the high side, gets split by James Walker and Brett Boncari, and he would fall to the top 5. Meanwhile, Jason Garrett would stay right behind him to the inside in turns 3 and 4, and Jason Garrett would then take over the race lead away from Chris Scala. Another guy enjoying this fight was actually James Walker behind him, because he was actually on a newer set of tires. He would eventually blow by Chris Scala and then eventually get by Jason Garrett in the exit turn 2 on lap number 53, and he would take over the race lead for the first time in exchange of lead changes at the start of the second segment. And then Garrett's run would actually take a turn almost for the worst. He loses control in the exit turn 4, makes a great save, and he would fall to the outside of the top 10 as a result. And then on number 60, he almost got involved in an incident. Jimmy Christensen gets loose out of turn 2, spins it out, and gives the inside wall a little bit of a kiss on the inside. That would bring out the third caution of the race. And then a couple of yells were stringed together. At number 66, Dave Rowe comes down into Joe Peachuk. He gets spun and hits the outside wall in turn number 4. Single car incident, but that bring out the fourth caution of the race. And then Gene Yates on number 71 would lose control right in front of Jason Garrett. Gets into Hunter Truell and smashes the turn 4 wall. And then Jimmy Christensen unfortunately gets a good chunk of this mess. And that was the fifth caution of the race. Now, a lot of the drivers in the lead in that second segment were on older tires, and Brett Boncari was having big-time problems. He was running in third, but he gets way too wide on turn 2, nearly gets run over by Jason Garrett, and that forced a huge scramble, and he would fall outside the top 10, because the top 10 in these segments would get points. But in the end of that final segment, Jason Garrett goes for the pass in the grass on Joe Peachuk and Justin Morton, and he almost gets a spot at the very end, while ending the segment number 2. That went to James Walker. Justin Morton would then have the lead at the start of segment 3, but then here came Jason Garrett on those newer tires. He would take over the race lead, but then clips the apron in turn 2, gets loose. That forces Frank DiMaggio way to the inside, almost on the apron. 3 wide for second, then DiMaggio goes inside for the lead, 3 wide. Jimmy Christensen nearly runs into Garrett, and he would actually go into second place. Wild stuff. And then DiMaggio continued to hold the advantage on Christensen. As a result of this mess, he would eventually hang on to the race lead and then start to pull away from the rest of the field. And then problems got even worse for Jason Garrett. He lost it in turn 4 again, but this time could not save it and smashes the pit wall Luckily, there weren't any pit crews that far in the pits, but Garrett's day was over. We fast forward to lap number 145. During green flag pit stop, Brett comes to pit, but loses control and goes into the grass and almost saved it. He decided to go in the grass and go back to the track, but he would fall one lap, almost 2 laps down for sure. And just when it looked like Frank DiMaggio was cruising to another win, Joe Pedrick loses control off of 4 and takes out DiMaggio. DiMaggio goes, well, big crash to the outside retaining wall, and when we thought his day was actually over, he would eventually stay on the track and actually get some damage repaired, because the way that caution came out, the timing scoring got a little bit mixed up. On the final restart, Christoph number 162 had the lead, but he bashes the outside wall on turn 4. Brian then could not avoid him, checks up, hits him, and he wrecked and blows his engine. And then James Walker gets spun out by Jamie Christensen, and Walker makes a great save, all get hit by Brett Pancari, and he would eventually continue on. In all this mayhem, Brian then had the lead, but Chris Scala had another set of tires left and used it to his advantage. He gets by and takes the lead on lap number 165. And then Jordan Miles running in for clips the apron 3 and 4, and then gets helped by Frank DiMaggio, who has all that damage from that wreck earlier. Miles makes a great save and will continue on. And after all of this mayhem, Chris Scala would come out turn 4 and get his second career Gear Jammer Truck Series victory. He wins at Texas. The results were Chris Scala, Brian Denton, Brett Pancari, Frank DiMaggio 4th, Justin Morton 5th, Jamie Christian 6th, Dave Rowe, James Walker, Jordan Malish, and Jonathan Thomas were around the top 10 after a wild race at Texas. And in the point standings, it would be DiMaggio leading Richard Schwint by 35, but now it's a very tight race for second between Pancari, Den, and Schwint. Justin Morton 5th, and it's Chris Scala, Joe Peter, Jimmy Christian, James Williams, and Andy Moore around the top 10.